folks. We're back. We're back again. Special guest Ian Carmel, all the way from Portland.
Island. I didn't realise that you could see it across the water. I didn't realise that the little twinkling lights in the distance was actually Ireland from Port Patrick. So I thought it was absolutely amazing. And then when I realised, I was telling my friends, and they said, "Well, it's got so far across the water." I was disappointed, but it kind of took the excitement away that I had. But great fun, absolutely great fun. And on the way across from the N6 from Gretna Green, the A75, I remember going down there and being able to work into the Isle of Man repeater most of the way down that road, right into Stranraer. It was quite a good run with that back in the day. Unfortunately, I don't go up there anymore. He sadly passed quite a few years ago. But I really enjoy going up there. Absolutely fantastic. Back on to you, Peter, from G1YTQ.
Yeah, G1YPQ, EI2JIV returning. Yeah, it's a beautiful little country. You were talking about cycling as well. Beautiful country here for cycling. During the summer season here, you will see an abundance of people on bicycles and going up and down the country. And yeah, it's a really open air kind of country. One county to another county, and transmit. You'll be able to cycle to your heart's content here, so you would. Okay, Carl, I'm going to pull the plug here. A little bit of work to do here now at the moment, so we'll give you a best day at 73. Have a nice afternoon, and thanks for the chat from EI2JIB, over.
Yeah, okay, Peter, it's been an absolute pleasure. Enjoy your day. I have a few days off. I'm not back till Monday. We work most of the Christmas period, so thought we'd take some annual leave, but use it or lose it. So back till Monday. Not back until Monday. 7-3s and all the best. It's been a pleasure. Bye for now. G1YDQ, back to standby.
73's Neil, have a nice day. We'll catch you again. Bye-bye for now.
Heyo, duckies! Download. It's available for Windows 32, 64.
The scarecrow fingers. That's what I'm going to call it. Scarecrow fingers of fucking...
There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left. That's when the cannibalism started.
What was that?
Yeah, the first one is good, though. I stand by the first one.
I mean, it's a total ripoff of The Invisibles, but...
Everything's a ripoff of something.
Shakespeare stole from the Romans. But who did the Romans steal from?
They stole Jesus' life.
Jesus.
Jesus
Christ. And then who was there for Jesus?
Hey, guys, it's been funny and all and stuff, but, like, we don't have to actually nail me to this thing. Guys, hey, guys. You guys are being really funny, all right? But stop it with the spear, okay?
Oh, my goodness. Welcome to the last podcast.
Okay there, buddy.
Welcome to the last podcast. On the left, everyone, I am Ben Kissel. I'm staring at Marcus Parks.
Staring intently.
Staring intent. Your teeth are looking great, Marcus.
Thank you very much.
The
Invisalign is working slowly but surely.
I actually see the change. I really do.
It's weird, right?
Yep. And then, of course, we got Henry Zabrowski over there.
You sound like a man who just has been staring at trees during September.
Oh,
Been like,
man,
I see it.
I wish.
I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it yellow?
Yeah.
Foliage expert Ben Kissel. It just means it's just called being an outside drunk.
I can't wait until my 50s, if I make it. Or maybe that's more of a 60s thing. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how fast you give up.
That's true. All right. Well, we're on to Norwegian black metal part 3, and the church burnings, they're happening. They happened, and now we're on to Murder. Murder indeed.
Now, when we last left the black metal scene, the competition of evil had already begun, with church burnings happening across the country, and it was only a matter of time before that quest for evil would lead to murder.
Ooh.
And finally, the quest for evil has arrived here in my bathroom. As you can see, what I've done is I've taken the caps off of all the toothpaste. Now the dried exterior of the toothpaste will not allow the luscious liquid toothpaste ever to hit the brush of my roommates.
Oh my goodness. I remember when MTV's Real World had real problems like that. Remember that?
And lead to murder it did!
Whoa!
In August of 1992, when Baird Eithon, a.k.a. Faust, stabbed a stranger to death in Lillehammer, Norway.
Oh, now Baird or Bard or Bjord or I don't know how half these names are pronounced. His name is Faust, which is a cool name because the evil doctor made a deal with the devil. It's fucking super metal. But Bard himself was maybe 75 pounds soaking wet. And he had that thing that I cannot stand. It's a hipster thing now too, with the wispy like armpit hair hanging out of really thin arms while wearing a tank top. It really just makes me sick to my stomach.
Why? Because they have nice bodies with good, luscious armpit hair?
No, he looks like Ichabod Crane, and he's got that, like, sickly, like, I'm living in a shanty town in Central Africa body, and it's just the scarecrow fingers. That's what I'm going to call it, scarecrow fingers of fucking
nipples.
armpit hair.
Oh, yeah. For armpit hair. I'm jealous of that. I am jealous of that body, though.
Oh, that's my body.
But yeah. Yes, it is.
Now, Faust, as I suppose we'll call him, as we can't really pronounce these Norwegian names, was a drummer for the extremely influential black metal band Emperor, signed at the time to Euronymous' Deathlike Silence Productions, as well as being a part of the so-called Norwegian Black Circle.
So he's on the way up. He's doing very well in the community.
He's doing well in the community, and a couple of the other guys from Emperor were very active in the church burnings.
Okay.
Now, Faust also published a fanzine dedicated to black metal called Orcrustus, which somehow translates to
the inner circle of hell where Lucifer resides on his throne. So it's Lucifer's bathroom.
Oh, I see. Yeah, Orcrustus just sounds like a horrible pizza place. It's all vegan, no cheese at all. It's like you can have Orcrustus or Crustus. That's all we have is Crustus.
Like, it sounds like the thing like after sex when you pee and it just comes out in the two separate streams.
Oh, yeah.
So in August of 1992, Faust was in Lillehammer visiting his mother for the weekend.
Excuse me, everybody. I know you will miss me. I'm sorry I'm missing rehearsals and visiting my mother. But I will make sure that it is the most evil trip to see my mother that has ever been.
The most black metal visit ever.
I don't know about you, Sven, but Faust is getting cooler and cooler.
So Faust was out having a drink, but he left the bar stone sober because, in his words, quote,
"The atmosphere didn't suit me."
Oh, so you can't have a drink because the atmosphere didn't suit him?
no, the atmosphere did not suit him, so he had to go home.
You got to have a drink to suit the atmosphere.
You left your mother's house to go get a drink. Like, I don't understand. Like, you left the bad part to go to the good part. So what is it? The atmosphere just didn't have enough rotting corpses?
I guess so.
After leaving the bar, Faust decided to walk through a park that had been constructed for the upcoming 1994 Winter Olympics.
Oh.
Oksana Bayul.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, the sexual awakening of many of us.
Well, this was this the Kerrigan Olympics?
Actually, it was
I
the
think
Kerrigan
it was,
Olympics,
yeah.
1994. Well, in that park, a man named Magna Andresen approached Faust asking for a light, even though Magna was already smoking.
Oh.
Got a light? Got a light? Got a light?
A Budweiser frog outside the bar. Wait.
Now, it was obvious that Magna was cruising for a little action.
Oh.
But instead of politely declining and moving on, Faust decided then and there, spur of the moment, that he was going to kill this man.
Oh, my.
Well, Magna asked Faust if he wanted to leave the park and go up into the woods together. They walked together into the forest for a while until Faust decided the time was right.
I love that this guy's courting habits were the same as Chikatello's. I'll ask him to go to the woods with me. Nothing could go wrong.
Or Faust later said,
I don't really remember what I was thinking, but at least I knew if I didn't do it now, I would not get another opportunity.
The way that you do it, I feel like you should be throwing spaghetti in the air. Just very chef-like.
So as Magna was walking behind Faust and talking, Faust pulled out the folding knife he always kept in his back pocket, turned around, and stabbed Magna in the stomach. Magna fell to his knees, and Faust continued stabbing him in the neck and face. And when Magna finally fell to the ground, Faust continued stabbing him in the back, sticking the knife so hard between Magna's shoulder blades that Faust had to brace his foot against the body to get it out again. And after pulling out the knife, Faust started to walk away, but heard Magna making noises like he was still alive. Faust walked back and kicked Magna's head in, later saying,
I didn't want him to manage to live through this and go to the hospital and report me. It was easier to take his life and then go and hope that everything would be okay.
Man. Meanwhile, there's a Michelob at a really nice TGI Fridays with his name on it. And he could have just sat at a damn bar and had a drink. Instead, he killed a poor man.
He could have been wined and dined.
Yeah?
He is 20 years old. Faust has nothing. Faust is a garbage person.
Yeah.
He met an upwardly mobile gentleman that just so happened to want to have a tussle in the bushes.
Right.
Which I think is a thing. People find that romantic.
Sure.
I don't, only because I hate leaves.
Well, they stick to
Getting
your
on me.
body, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not into that. So it's like
I find it romantic.
Do you?
Yes.
So you guys.
Well, you can listen to Sex and Other Human Activities on Last Podcast Network for more insight into the romantic leanings of Marcus Parks.
Do you guys leave your apartment to go out into the streets of Greenpoint to have sex?
No, you don't do it in
Not
the
in the
street.
city, I don't think
not
he's
in the city.
referencing. No, there's no romance there.
No, there's no romance there. And not really in Prospect Park either because, there's kids there. And you can't go to Central Park to the Brambles because that's where the cruising happens.
You've
the
thought
homeless,
about it.
The homeless gay men already have that all staked out, so we can't use that.
Do the Brambles have like a no breeder sign?
Well, it's
can you not?
It's understood.
It's an understanding.
Yeah, that's just that's something in New York
Okay.
City you understand. Have you ever walked through the Brambles before?
I don't know what a bramble is. I know there's a drink called a bramble.
Brambles is a part of Central Park where lots of gay sex happens.
Okay, well, we gotta have a little fun.
Yeah.
You got to leave a lot of clearance for your feet. You got to really lift your knees when you're walking through there because you don't you just want to make sure you don't accidentally step on a honeymoon.
Well, all in all, Faust stabbed his victim 37 times.
Oh.
And the body was found 2 days later by a schoolgirl jogging in the area.
I just see that's my problem though is that in these areas I just imagine like a woman in a lederhosen dress
With a beer
them all
stein on her
smooshed
head,
up and pigtails.
I mean, it's the old cliche, why jog?
Why
You're
jog?
just going to find a body. But has a person skipping
jog?
ever found a body? Have a little more fun with it.
Well, the day after the murder, Faust returned to Oslo, where he joined Varg and possibly Euronymous, depending on who you talk to, and burned down Holmenkollen Church.
This guy is having a busy 48 hours for a black metal star.
Yeah, man.
Technically, it's called a black metal bat mitzvah. Is what he just did. Is that it was true. He hit it all in once because what he said was that he went to go hang out, immediately started bragging about what he did, and then the two of them said, "Do you want to come on this church burning with us?" And he just straight up said, was like, "Well, I've already killed someone. I might as well burn a church." And
horrible people.
Yeah, and the night after that, the night after the church burning, Faust was watching TV when he found that he was directly responsible for both the lead and the follow-up stories on the national news, which nobody had linked at the time.
So, but they didn't realize it was him. The stories were just out there.
They had no idea. They knew that the church burnings were they knew that it was a black metal thing, but with Magna and Drayson, that was just a complete and total unsolved murder.
Okay.
And when Faust was asked if Magna being gay had anything to do with the murder, Faust said,
I don't like it when you're trying to get people who aren't homosexual. It's okay if they want to be homosexuals, but at least they must stay with their own people.
This guy is dressed like Avril Lavigne on a bad day.
Yes.
After being buried in the ground for 3 days, and he has the audacity to judge others. It's really incredible how judgmental they are.
Extreme. I mean, their whole thing is based on being judgmental because these guys are very biblical.
But I thought
like
they were supposed to be
Old
cool.
Testament biblical.
Yeah.
No, it's the opposite. They are hardcore us versus them. It's the same thing as like it's the bad side of any what becomes sort of like a cult-like mentality. Is that they believe it's us versus them, and they sit there also. Kind of sounds like if he didn't kill him, that they might have fallen in love with each other.
Yeah, that's a bit of that in there as well.
Well, that's what Faust is. He's one of those homophobes that as long as gays are on the other side of the room, he can keep that hatred and homophobia at bay. But as soon as a gay person talks to him, he starts feeling all weird inside. He freaks out, and it comes out in extreme violence. In other words, he's one of those guys with the feelings that are strongest.
Yes, exactly.
Now, the night of the murder, Faust immediately called Euronymous to tell him all about the murder, and Euronymous told Varg, and Varg used it as currency to show how cool and evil the scene was when he was talking to girls.
It's like that sleepover game that used to be advertised when we were a kid, where it's like you call the girls up on the telephone, and they're all like, what? Say it again. Brad did what? And they're curling the telephone cord on their finger back and forth, just kicking their feet up, eating marshmallows in bed.
Man, it's a 90s flashback week for me. I watched Goosebumps yesterday as well.
Oh, how was that?
It's horrifying. It's great stuff.
Is it just you with your suit jacket on and no clothes underneath that just is drinking a tall
No
boy?
clothes
just
at all,
watching
my
Goosebumps?
friend. No clothes at all at home for me.
Well, not only did this murder and the subsequent church burning give the scene a bit of social currency, it also gave the scene more confidence in their actions.
Oh my
As
gosh.
not only had they gotten away with dozens of arsons, including one that had resulted in the accidental death of a firefighter,